This war has many edges and fronts, and one of them runs right beneath this very porch. While the IDF pushes hard in Gaza and holds most of the Strip, the Samaria Ridge remains a pressure point, with nightly raids, attempted attacks, and a race to harden roads and towns along Route 60. The world's eyes are on this hill country again, both because of the frontline security and because building plans here shape Israel's future on the ground. I'm Shoshani, and today, from Samaria, we're meeting the man who stewards these very communities, the head of the Samaria Regional Council, Yossi Dagan. Yossi Dagan, head of Samaria Regional Council, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for coming.
We're here in Pduel, in what used to be called the balcony of the country, and you changed the name to?
Donald Trump National Lookout.
As we're standing here we're looking to the west, that is central Israel, coastal Israel. 2 days ago, as we're filming this, I was inside Jenin, and I was talking to an intelligence officer in the army, and I said, why is this place important? He says, let me explain. He said, the weapons and the money come in from Iran through Jordan into Samaria. They sit here, they spread them into the villages, and then they're trying to get right over there. And for years, people have been talking about, let's give back Judea and Samaria. Let's hand over security to Palestinians. And when you stand in Jenin, or stand right here, you look at that, Rosh Ain, this is central Israel. I mean, we're kilometers away. And you said, how can we even imagine doing something like that? We have to have this place to protect the country.
What you told is so important because people cannot imagine how many state of Israel is close, is smaller, with Judea and Samaria mountains. Between these towers and buildings of Tel Aviv and these towers and buildings of Rosh Ain, that's it. Just 9 miles under our big mountains.
I was looking at a map before we started, and I was trying to measure, I think it was about 7 or 8 kilometers as the bird flies to Ben Gurion, something like that. So if you weren't here, Yossi, the regional council, Pduel, the community, someone could be on a hill, this very hill, pick up a mid-range surface-to-air missile and shut down the main airport to the country.
Yes, it's not theoretic. 1971, before we was building this lovely town, Pduel, gang of PLO from Fatah, our peace partners, they was shooting a rocket from this mountain to Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Just imagine October 7 with Palestinian Authority, radical Islamic control on these big mountains. You know, in October 7, the barbarians from Hamas, they was occupying from Gaza Strip, and Gaza Strip in the back, not big mountains near the sea. Yeah. They was occupying in one day 14 kilometers. And all the Green Line, all the state of Israel without Judea and Samaria is just 9 miles. These 9 miles under our big mountains. Just imagine, it's 100% going to be a second Holocaust. Maybe finish of the Zionist story, finish this story of state of Israel.
Well, that's what they wanted to do.
And because this, my citizens and me, we are understanding our mission. First of all, to build the Bible and to do historical justice for God and for our history and for our spirit, but we never forget before and especially after October 7, the Samaria and Judea, Jewish communities and towns are a security belt of state of Israel. And without our control and without our community and without our sovereignty here over Judea and Samaria, second October 7 and maybe destroyed all the state of Israel is just issue of time.
You mentioned the word justice, and I want to talk about this for a second. We do media, and there's a whole lot of lies that are spread about what happens here. And I want to debunk, I want to take apart 2 of those big lies. One has to do with the land. And people go to this claim of the state of Israel stole land from the Palestinians in Judea and Samaria. And one, that's just not true. Israel, in a defensive war, which is just and allowed according to international law, took Judea and Samaria, from the Jordanians, who themselves illegally occupied this land. And much of it, including in your council, is privately owned land bought by Jews before 1948. And people are unaware of that. And they think, oh, we're taking over the land. Give us a sense of how much of a claim we have to this land.
We are standing together against a new war. Because after our enemies, our radical Islamic enemies, and their partners, the progressives in Europe, maybe in States, they understood that they cannot destroy the state of Israel with one shot of regular war. Because, God willing, we have a stronger army in the Middle East. Because this years, they are trying and working very hard with a new war. Do you know what is a new war?
Deception.
War of the lies.
Yes.
The base of the lies in the millennium about the Israeli occupation over Judea and Samaria. 1 year ago, after October 7th, a group of European Parliament members host me in their conference. So I asked them, tell me please, we are living, my citizens and me, we are living in Judea and Samaria. What is Judea? They think and told me, Judea is from Jewish. So I asked them, tell me please, gentlemen, how Jewish can to be occupier in Judea? It's ridiculous. Jerusalem is our capital 3,500 years.
Yeah.
Judea and Samaria is the Bible land. Abraham, the first Jew, he came here first time to Samaria, between Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal, and the covenant, the first covenant, between God and Abraham, that he will bring all the land to the next generation of Abraham, the Jews. But the most of the citizens, they are ignorant, and we must educate and explain. And we talk about security situation, how we can see from these mountains under us, like this, Tel Aviv and Ben Gurion Airport. We can see right now, behind us, this aircraft. What is it?
It's flying to land in Ben Gurion. Yeah.
Yeah, why?
It's descending to land.
They cannot complete the circle to land before the landing in Judea and Samaria in these 9 miles. They need do this circle in the sky of Samaria because people cannot imagine how our state is so close, is so
small
smaller with Judea and Samaria.
You talk about biblical history and biblical narrative, almost everyone, even if they don't love the state of Israel, would say, okay, we understand, you were here first about 3,800 years ago, good for you. But there's a disconnect between the biblical story and the present day story. And I want you to help me explain that there is no disconnect, that we back then had a just claim to the land. And even today, even if you don't like the people of Israel, and even if you're anti-Semitic, the best thing for Israel, the best thing for the Middle East, the best thing for the Palestinians is Israel controlling Judea and Samaria, not the Palestinians controlling Judea and Samaria. We already tried giving them land in the Gaza Strip. We pulled out families of Israelis. I did that myself as a young officer in the Israeli army. We pulled people out because we said, here, do what you want with it. And what did we get?
This terrible issue that we did. One from the high level of the progressive leaders, he told that after we will evacuated the Gaza Strip Jewish communities, Gaza Strip will be a Singapore of the Middle East.
It didn't exactly, it didn't exactly happen.
Yes.
Not exactly.
Yes. And October 7, it is Singapore of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Why? Because after we evacuated Gush Katif, what he did, we destroyed all the houses. We broken all the factories. We take the bodies from the tombs, and we was building a new border. Peace by the book. Gaza Strip was a Palestinian state. Without Jews, Judenrein. Without Jews, without IDF, with a border, and please take the control. And October 7 is a direct the Palestinian state issue. After October 7, the security situation of State of Israel with Palestinian Authority, radical Islamic control here. They was occupying in October 7 from Gaza Strip 14 miles. And on the Green Line is just 9 miles.
Within Israel.
Just imagine from these mountains, not regular zone, in the back, near the sea. No, in the center, the biggest mountains on the center of State of Israel, like a river. They was occupying all this 9 miles, half day, and budget all the Jews. And I must tell you, the Jewish communities here in Judea and Samaria are also a security belt of State of Israel.
The Middle East is complicated. Evil thrives here and wears many different faces.
But in the middle of it all is Israel, a tiny democracy fighting for its life against extremist regimes and terrorist armies that glorify death, not life.
And yet somehow the world calls us the aggressor.
Because evil has hijacked the narrative and twisted the truth.
And the West? Well, too often it believes the lies because comprehending such evil is hard. And when people can't understand it, they misplace the blame.
This battle isn't just about Israel. This is a threat to the entire free world.
Because when the truth dies, freedom dies with it.
So stand with Israel, defend the truth, and make sure it gets out to the entire world. Go to www.tbn.org/standwithisrael and donate now. Our future depends on it.
There's a global trend now of people that know nothing about the Middle East and nothing about how to solve wars here that say, let's recognize a Palestinian state. Why? 100 different reasons for a different story. They say, let's give the Palestinians a state. Which Palestinians? We don't know. Where? We don't know. How? We don't know. Let's just give it to them because we don't like the Jews. Israel isn't fully sovereign in Judea and Samaria. Because of the Oslo Accords from the mid-90s, we had this idea, which has been proven to be very wrong, that we could work together with the Palestinian Authority and govern this land together. Since then, we've realized there's no point in doing that. They don't want to govern. They want terrorism. They want violence. You're saying, let's impose Israeli sovereignty. What does that look like?
Sovereignty, it's the issue to protect the State of Israel, because after the Holocaust, we swore together, the Americans and the Jews.
Never again.
Never again. After October 7, we also swore never again. With Palestinian state, it's not never again. It's not issue of time, when. But sovereignty, it's never again, because sovereignty is the end of the story. Sovereignty is the issue to cancel the hope. Because since 1974, after Yom Kippur War, Yasser Arafat organized a big conference in Rabat, in Morocco. Yasser Arafat told them, look, after these 3 wars, we understood that we cannot destroy Israel with regular war, because they are stronger. So let's change the strategy. And he started, Yasser Arafat, from this conference in Rabat, the strategy of levels plan. Let's make a focus about Judea and Samaria with terror attacks and international negotiation. After this, we will push the Jews out from the mountains of Judea and Samaria, put State of Israel just with these 9 miles under these mountains, and like he told, and after this we can push the Jews to the Mediterranean. After all the terrible issues of peace agreements, they was bringing us more terror attacks. And because this sovereignty is the number one and direct answer to this hope.
It's not only good for the Jews, it's good also for the Palestinians. We've given them the chance of trying to create a state. What do they do? In Judea and Samaria, they steal the money, they send their kids to study in Dubai and in Switzerland and in the UK. There's nothing left in Judea and Samaria that they've left behind. In Gaza, they do the opposite. They take the money, they build terrorism infrastructure. This, and I know this sounds to people, it might sound, it's very religious, it's very, let's call it a messianic, as we say in Hebrew, in its nature, talking about the end times and stuff like that. No, there's a practical element to it, which they don't know how to govern the land, and they don't want to govern the land. And we do, and we've done a better job at governing this land. It's good for their people, too.
I must tell you, I have a lot of friends, Muslim leaders and sheikhs here from Judea and Samaria. And part of them are so angry about what happened in Palestinian Authority in Judea and Samaria since Oslo Accord. But they're brave leaders, because Palestinian Authority is dictatorship. It's not like Israel, United States, all the people can say what they think. They're brave men, brave leaders. And I work with them, and part of them published statements against the terror attack of Palestinian Authority and Hamas. And Palestinian police arrest them sometimes because they sit with me and talk about peaceful coexistence and against the terror attack. But after October 7, then they understood that we have a strong army and we crushed the terrorists.
Yes.
And then we will bring sovereignty. It cancels the hope to destroy Israel. And it's going to be powerful to these brave leaders to do a change also to the Muslim citizens in Palestine.
You see that happening now? I think they need a generation of different leadership to do that. God isn't the one who brought October 7th. Our weakness in understanding who Hamas was and allowing them to get stronger, Israeli government and the Israeli people, and also the corruption of European organizations and international organizations that fed the, well, there's no nice way to say this, that fed the devil that is Hamas and Islamic Jihad. That's what brought October 7th. We forgot who we were facing. And now that we've been reminded, some people around the world, the French, the British to a certain degree, even the Germans that started boycotting weapon shipments to Israel, they look at what happens here and they saw what happened on October 7th and they decide to ignore the truth. They decide to go against biblical truth, against modern truth, against justice as they teach it, Judeo-Christian values, and say, no, we don't want to hear any of this. The evil of this time is Israel. With your version of justice, we're all doomed. Let's try our version of justice, which is biblical justice. And what does biblical justice say? First of all, it says, to the orphan, to the widow, to the foreigner in your land. And we have a chance in Israel, if we, and I really like the way you took this, to follow what the Bible says. Rebuild your land, and this will be the justice that exists in the land, even to the foreigners in your land.
I believe that we, the Americans and the Israelis together, will take this opportunity from God and bring this gift to God back, bring sovereignty to Judea and Samaria. It's by us, by our friends in states, and by us in Israel.
Samaria and Judea are places that people need to visit. And I'd say this, we have a lot of people that watch this that come on tours in Israel. If you're coming on a tour that doesn't take you to Judea and Samaria, you need to ask them to take you to Judea and Samaria. I take my kids on a regular basis, especially on the high holidays. We try to come in Judea and Samaria. I've taken them countless places, including Mount Eval and Sebastian and other places, because they need to see this. It is
touch the history.
Yeah, but it's the majority of the biblical history takes place in this very region. And to see this land without seeing Judea and Samaria is a mistake. But also I want to say it's safe. Judea and Samaria are safe. They're safer in parts in most of the US and most of other countries in Europe. And look where we're standing right now. I mean, how important is this place? How beautiful is this place?
And I must tell you, it's so important. First of all, because we must learn, we must know. And especially in this generation, that we can see on the ground, all the prophecies on the ground, like a facts. It is time to take the families to visit in Judea and Samaria, the Bible, and in Jerusalem, to come to Israel. And I invite you, come visit with your families, come see, touch the history, touch the Bible. And from this spirit, we will take a powerful to build the future of a world, to bring sovereignty to Judea and Samaria, to bring powerful to the United States and Israel, and all the good people from the good side and true side and the side of the justice of the world.
Yossi Dagan, thank you very much. And I appreciate the vision, more than just the facts. I really appreciate the vision.
Thank you very much. And I must tell you, it's a very appreciation what you are doing to educate the people and for our war for the historical justice in Judea and Samaria and overall the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. From up here, the map isn't abstract. It's towns, it's roads, and it's families. Security isn't only boots on the ground, it's families on the ground. And if you're considering the move, this is your invitation. Help settle this ridge, strengthen the roads, and anchor Israel's future in these hills. Make sure you subscribe, you share, and you keep the focus on building life. Let's pray together that God will protect our soldiers, return the hostages, and give peace to Samaria and to Jerusalem.
Hello, this is Mati here in Jerusalem with TBN Israel.
This is Yair Pinto from TBN Israel here in Jerusalem. TBN Israel is keeping viewers informed with Israel-focused news, culture, and what God is doing in this land.
Support TBN Israel today online at tbn.org/Israel. Thank you.